Welcome to the DC Sports Buzz. This is January 12th, 2013. Kevin, here we are 1 week later after the Redskins lose and RG3 blows out his knee, and who knows what's going to happen next. Catastrophic knee injury.
Oh, it's terrible. Hockey's back. That's good. RG3 is hurt. That is bad. I do feel like this, though. Even if there was a war going on, I'm not counting the war on terror because I think we've won that one. I still think RG3 would be at the top of the list. 6 to 8 month recovery, Mike. He'll be back in time for training camp. He won't be the player he was before, but the player that he will be now will be good enough for the Redskins.
Look at Mr. Optimistic there, huh? 6 to 8 months. That's what you're believing those people, huh? I mean, this is a guy who had a catastrophic knee injury. The ACL is blown out. The LCL is repaired. This is the second ACL major knee injury that has occurred. And let's be honest, he's sitting in a hospital bed right now in Florida, and who knows when he's going to start his rehab.
Those people, if you mean the doctors, then yeah, those are the people.
Yeah, some of the optimistic doctors that say 6 to 8. Then there's the ones that say 10 months.
I will tell you this right now. RG3, don't feel sorry for this guy. He's lying in a bed, watching Jerry Springer, little Maury Povich, finding out who the father is, getting sponge baths from hot nurses. He's doing pretty well down there. Don't worry about him, and he'll be back in time for training camp. My question for you, though, Maiko, is who is to blame for all this? Are you pointing your finger directly at Shanahan for this? Should he have taken RG3 out?
I'm going to blame Dan Snyder for everything bad that happens with the Redskins because, I mean, he's a terrible owner. We all hate him. No, it's Mike Shanahan. Like, he's the guy in charge of the team. He's the coach sitting there on the sidelines. He witnessed everything that we saw. RG3 hurting his knee there on the second drive of the game, doesn't pull the guy from the game, and RG3 admits that he's hurt and just leaves him out there, leaves him hung out to dry, and now look where we are.
So easy and so simplistic for you to blame Mike Shanahan for this, to point the finger at him after the fact. I'm going to paint a scenario for you. What if Shanahan takes RG3 out at halftime, puts Cousins in, Cousins throws 2 or 3 picks, Redskins lose 31-14 to Seattle, and RG3's MRI is negative? Then everyone's calling for the coach's head, and he's
but you have a healthy RG3 for the season that starts. You had a great season. You finished well beyond what the expectations were. 10-6, you won the division. You got to the playoffs. You got a healthy RG3. They're not going to win the game either way. Let's be honest. They didn't win the game, so it's a moot point.
Hey, the player wants to be out there. Football is unlike any other sport. These players play hurt. These players continue to play hurt. Just look at Ware in the Cowboys game. I mean, the guy basically had every body part injured and he went out there. My question to you, Maiko, right now is, out of the 3 young quarterbacks in this draft class, out of Wilson, out of RG3, and out of Luck, starting right now from this moment, who has the best NFL career?
Well, coming from the person who picked Seattle last week to win, Kevin, and was correct, you'd think I'd take Russell Wilson, but I'm not going to take him. That's the easy way out. It's going to be Andrew Luck. That's pretty obvious. We all know that. He was number 1 overall pick for a reason. He's a pocket passer. You know, every QB that's won a Super Bowl has been a pocket passer. This is a guy who threw for over 4,000 yards. He's going to be consistent. And most importantly, Kevin, he's going to be on the field and healthy because he's not running around like a chicken with its head cut off getting hit by 300-pound linemen.
Well, here's the thing. I see you got your Stephen Davis throwback jersey, and you're living in the past with that pick, Michael. On this show, we talked about the age of the pocket quarterback is gone. It's all these young, dynamic read option quarterbacks, your Wilsons, your RG3s. And who is the best of that bunch? It's RG3. I realize he had a knee injury, but he will come back.
Terrible knee injury.
People value his pocket passing. He will come back. He will be the best of that bunch.
Yeah, he'll be back in 12 months.
He'll have a better career than Andrew Luck.
Yeah, 12 months. Have fun missing a year and playing 13 out of 16 games every single year with being an RG3. But speaking of RG3, Kevin, I know when you watched the game, we all saw it. We saw that little shack behind the bench there that they have at FedEx Field. And I want to talk about that for a second. I mean, do we have a picture of this shack that we can pull up here? Look at that thing, Kevin. That looks like a World War II bunker there that you go and hide in and you huddle up and there's nuclear war brewing.
You know, that really looks like my first studio apartment when I moved out to LA. Like, it's got a crappy little door. You don't know if it shuts or not. Look at that little crappy air conditioning vent.
Yeah, how about that curtain, you know? Yeah, how about some privacy, huh?
Yeah, the privacy curtain is terrible. And it's a terrible shade of blue anyway. Someone didn't go to Bed Bath & Beyond for that.
Where's the Redskins shower curtain? I mean, I got one in my bathroom. They can't even put one up in the little shack at FedEx Field?
A Seattle blue that's up. And I'm sure there are a bunch of, like, big fat drunk guys banging on the top of that. I honestly think that soldiers in the Civil War had a better field hospital than that at FedEx Field with all that money. I can't believe Dan Snyder can't get a better spot for RG3 to get his knee checked out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And, you know, speaking of FedEx Field, and, you know, there was a crappy turf they had to deal with during the game, and there's going to be another garbage turf that they're going to have to deal with in this weekend's games, and that's going to be in San Francisco, Kevin. And I want to talk about the NFC playoff picture for a second here. We've got Green Bay, San Francisco, and we've got Atlanta and Seattle. And I like Seattle to win that game in Atlanta. I think Atlanta is bogus, 14-2, and I like San Francisco to win in San Fran.
I think both of us can agree Denver's going to come out of the AFC. So I actually like the Atlanta Falcons to finally right the ship, finally win a playoff game when the pressure's on the line at home. I think Seattle gave their best game against the Redskins. Lynch is a little bit banged up. I think that Arizona or the Atlanta offense is going to I'm getting my birds confused. The Atlanta offense is going to get things, fixed up, and they're going to beat Seattle. I also like Green Bay over the Niners. The Niners are not the same team now that they were a couple weeks back. They've got some injuries. They're a little bit banged up. I don't trust Kaepernick the way he's playing these days, and Green Bay is back and healthy. Green Bay beats the 49ers, might go.
Kevin, like you said, it's the age of the dual-threat quarterback. I like Colin Kaepernick and his running ability, and I like Russell Wilson and his running ability. I like your tips, Kevin, with the dual-threat QBs. We're in that age. Let's ride them, baby. But unfortunately, Kevin, we are out of time here on the Sports Buzz. Hit us up at sportsbuzzdc@gmail.com this week, but we'll be back next week with another show here on the DC Sports Buzz.
Go Caps!